Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We give praises and thanks to Almighty Allah, who has made it possible for us to meet again after the prolonged holiday caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. We pray Almighty Allah help us to wipe it away in due course sooner than we expect. Amen. How are you, my dear students? I hope you are all fine. How are your parents? This is your English studies teacher, Mrs. Rufai Rukoya Okoyemi, and I'm happy to be here with you once again. It is English studies, and today we are looking at increase your word power, the media. And the aspect of the media we are looking at today is the radio and television. But before we go on, I want us to quickly revise our previous lesson under the increase of word power, which was the media, the press. We learned that the press is an aspect of the media, which is the newspaper and the magazines. And we also learned new words associated with the newspaper and magazine as press. We learned words like dailies, that papers that are published daily are called dailies, and the papers that are published, especially Sunday papers, which are published weekly, are called weeklies. We also learned words like journalists. We learned words like correspondent, reporters, questionnaire, and so on. Today, we are looking at the media, the radio and television. We have 4 objectives to achieve by the end of this lesson. The first objective is to identify the radio and television as electronic media. The second one is to identify the qualities of the radio and television as electronic media. The third objective is to learn new words, also known as registers, that are associated with the radio and the television. And the fourth objective is to identify the differences between the print media and the electronic media. Now, what is the radio and television? The radio and the television are referred to as the electronic media. This is so because they use the electronic energy to transmit news and information to people. What are the qualities? The qualities of the radio and television as electronic media. The radio and the television are faster means of getting news or information across to people, be it far or near. How do I mean? We know that in newspaper, when we learn about the press, which consists of the newspaper and magazines and newsletters and so on, that they cannot be as fast. For example, if something happens today and it is covered in the newspaper, it will take the reach of that newspaper. Where that newspaper gets to, that's the limit of all of what or how people can get information through the newspaper or magazines. But the radio and television, they are faster. Once the radio is tuned, once somebody tunes to the station, or the radio is turned on, or television is switched on, immediately you get information faster. It can go as far as hundreds of kilometers to people. Another quality is that news or happenings or events are beamed out to listeners or viewers as they happen. Yes, in the electronic media, that is the radio and television, whatever is happening, any news that breaks, any happenings, any event is beamed out to listeners and viewers as they happen. It is not something that, okay, let us do something. No. For example, if the governor of Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde, wants to pass across a message by 3 p.m. today, immediately that information will reach across the nook and crannies of Oyo State and environs. Unlike the newspapers that have been published and sent out today, they cannot beam out such information until they publish against tomorrow or weekly, as the case may be. So the electronic media is fast and it beams out information to listeners and viewers as those information or event occurs or as they occur. Then we also have another quality which is they can be broadcast live. Yes, the electronic media is a media, it is done in such a way that you can, the news information can be given live direct, just like sports commentaries, sports programs. If there is a live match that is being played anywhere in the world, anybody that tunes into the program as at that time will be watching it as if he or she is in the stadium where the football match is being played. So it is a media that allows live broadcast. Another quality is one can view the people, scenes, etc. involved on the television. Yes. For example, recently, some time ago, a part of Dugbe Market got burnt. It was easy for people to, from their own living room or the comfort of their homes, were able to access to see the damages and what really happened as the fire outrage was on. Another quality is the electronic media has if it they have a form of immediacy. It's just like whenever something happens, the electronic media makes sure it is broadcast immediately, it is beamed out, it is the information and news story is given out to the people as it is happening. So it has a form of immediacy. Now, what are the words, new words that can be learned from a passage given to us on page 144? 144. I'll read the passage out to you, and I expect you to also open to page 144 of your NUSEC JS2 English to read and get acquainted with the registers associated with the electronic media. Now listen to me as I read. Nowadays, in most parts of the world, radio and television are major sources of news and entertainment. On both radio and TV, there are news bulletins, programs on current affairs, documentaries, discussion programs, interviews with well-known personalities in politics, sports, and the arts. There are also serials, soap operas, drama, live sports commentaries, and various forms of light entertainment such as quizzes and competitions. TV sets are expensive and equally require mains, electricity, and external areas. But small battery-powered radios are cheap, and many people all over the world can afford them. The radio and TV newscasters, foreign correspondents, political commentators, and the television personalities who have their own shows or who appear frequently on the small screen become very well known. But very many people work in television who never appear in front of the viewer. Programs are based on scripts written by script writers and organized by a producer with the help of many other specialist workers. These include production assistants, cameramen, sound engineers, and the engineers who erect, specialist electricians, set and costume designers, wardrobe and makeup staff. Equally important are the engineers who erect, maintain, and repair the stations which relay the programs to the different parts of the country. New developments are satellite TV and cable television. In satellite television, programs are carried on satellites which circle the Earth. Consumers can only receive these programs on their TV screens. If they buy and install on their roof a special piece of equipment called a satellite dish. In cable television, programs are carried on underground cables to the houses of those who subscribe to the service. Now, so from what I have read out, we have been exposed to new words, many new words that are associated with the electronics media. But I've extracted 3 out of these words for us to go through them and learn how they are transcribed, then the word class they belong to and their meaning. The first word is news bulletin. News bulletin. News bulletin. News bulletin is a noun and it means a short radio or television program broadcast of news reports. News bulletin is a noun and it means a short radio or television broadcast of news reports. Another word is script writer. Script writer. The script writer has been transcribed there in your notes. It is also a noun and it means a person who writes a script for a play, film, or broadcast. The third word is newscaster. Newscaster. Newscaster is also a noun and it means a person who reads out broadcast news stories, a news reader. Now, let's go to the fourth objective of this lesson, which we must achieve. And this is the differences between the print and the electronic media. Differences between the print and electronic media. What are the differences between the print media and the electronic media? Now, the first one, the print media deliver news and information through printed publications. The print media deliver news and information through printed media. This means that the print as a media, its own channel of delivering news and information to the people is through printed publications like newspapers, magazines, news journals, and the likes, while the electronic media deliver and access news and information through electronic energy. As I earlier said, it is through this energy, the waves, that it disseminates or sends out information and news story to people. Another one is one should be literate to read the information provided in the print media. Take, for example, someone that is a Yoruba person. He or she, despite being a Yoruba person, he or she must be able to read the Yoruba language for that kind of person to be able to get information from a newspaper that is printed in the Yoruba language. But in the electronic media, this is not a primary requirement, as anyone can watch and hear information provided through the radio or the television. A Yoruba person that doesn't know how to read or write can just listen to any news information, any news broadcast, or watch any news information or broadcast or program on television, and the person will comprehend, that is, understand what the news information is all about. Imagine those Hausa men that hawk goods and wares everywhere. You always see them with their radio, and what do they listen to? They listen to Hausa, to news information broadcast in the Hausa language. So this is how flexible, how accommodating the electronic media is. Then we have another difference, which is live discussion is not possible in the print media. In the print media, you can't have anything as live. It has to be printed. It goes to press, as they use in their the palace they use in their profession. It goes to press. It's printed, and it has a time that it is sent out to people, to the readers. But in the electronic media, it is possible at any point in time, at any time of the day, to broadcast any information that is necessary or it requires to be given to the people. Then the last difference is the print media is as the language usage in the print media is reader friendly. What does this mean? That the language that is used is it will appeal to the reader that wants to read it, while the language usage in the electronic media is viewer or listener friendly. When I say viewer or listener friendly, I mean viewer for the television and listener for the radio. I hope I've been able to explain it to your understanding. I have an assignment here to assess you on, to get feedback of what I have explained in this lesson note. There are two questions. The first one is to transcribe the words below. Tell me, write out their word class and the meanings of the words. I have 5 words here: live sports commentaries, satellite, TV. The third one is consumer. The fourth one, satellite dish. And the fifth one, subscribe. Number 2, there is an exercise on page 153 of your NUSEC textbook. So I expect you to attempt the exercise, answer questions, provide answers to question 1 to 10. Page 153, it cuts across to page 154. So I hope to get this feedback from you as soon as possible. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.